I'd like to welcome everyone. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And our first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening I brought you one of our graduating seniors. This is my battalion commander, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Adam Judd. And I'll let him answer any questions or tell you a little bit about himself.
Were you any kin to the Ashland Judge?
I'm not really sure about that.
Her grandfather, or great-grandfather, I guess it was a preacher, a Methodist preacher in Martin County at one time, period.
That's something I have to find out.
So you continue to go on or serve your country?
I would like to, yes.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you very much.
Okay, what branch, sir?
Army.
Army. Okay, I just want to say, I mean, I know, yeah, but you know.
Sorry, we're a little underdressed this evening. We've already started, all my cadets have already turned in their uniforms for the end of the year, get everything ready to be turned into cleaner so we can get that all done. And I was over training with my readers for next year, trying to get things prepared for all our next year's fun. Adam's been one of my better cadets in the program this year. He's done a lot of hard work. He has been very dedicated. He's been in the program for all 4 years. He's seen the lows of the program as well as the highs, and I think he's had a good time this year. We've done a lot of improvement, and I'm glad that we had a battalion commander to kind of lead the young cadets in the right direction.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask every one of you to observe a moment of silence. Thank you. And at this time, we'd like to do our student spotlight.
We are very excited tonight about a lot of our student spotlights and bring recognition and reward to our most outstanding students who are involved in a lot of activities. It's a time of year where there's a lot of events going on, a lot of celebration, a lot of cause for celebration, but none more so than what we are about to introduce, certainly here from Martin County in our early college academy. So I'd like to have Megan come on up here. She is integral to the implementation of this and certainly the success of this program. We certainly appreciate her. Dr. Laney over here, of course, both of them have done a tremendous amount of work, and another small group, team of folks have made this happen. But before I do that, audience and board, I'd like to introduce, most people here know Mr. Josh Ball. Come on up, Josh, and he's going to help with some introductions here.
Yeah, real quick, thank you very much. Friends and family, I guess. I know who my mom is. Still trying to find out who my dad is. I'm kidding. That's a joke I like to say a lot, but then people look at me, and I told Dr. Cressman not to worry. I had my mom's brains. So, anyways, I had to. He didn't know I was going to do that. Nor did I do this. No. Anyways, it's with great pride. I'm Josh Ball. I'm the Director of College Relations at Big Sandy. I handle public relations and marketing, institutional advancement. and grants and sponsored projects. So this was something that I didn't have a lot of hand in, but it's something that's very exciting, and what we're going to talk about tonight is very important. And I'm going to let our interim president, who's going to be here till the end of May, just another week or so, and he's going to head back to Mississippi, hopefully without any law enforcement pulling him over on his way home. So he might tell you that story. But without further ado, Dr. Charles Cressman, our interim president.
He's off your Christmas list.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Well, now, I will say this, that he did not mention Miss Sloan, who was his teacher at one time. Is that correct?
Sunday school teacher, that's it.
And
We don't need to go there.
I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, members of the board, it's an honor for me to be here tonight. Fortunately, here in Kentucky, the community technical college system has the opportunity to partner with the public school districts in offering what is called a early college academy. Basically, the way the academy works is rising juniors and seniors, if chosen to participate in the early college academy, can continue to take classes toward their high school diploma with the school district, and also enroll simultaneously with the community and technical college and start working toward an Associate of Arts or Associate of Science degree. And we were rocking along pretty good. Had talked with the superintendent over in Pike County about starting an early college academy for the county schools over there, and Superintendent Lester was interested. And then I get a call from this fellow back over here named Steve Meadows, and so he comes down with Megan and several staff, and we talk about it, and had a great conversation. They expressed an interest in having the early college academy extended to Martin County. Of course, we were elated at the opportunity to do that. I told them the only problem we had is we had to build a brand new science lab on our Mayo campus to where we could teach the science classes in order to offer the Associate of Science degree. And so we were committed to doing that, and had set aside some funds to get that started, and that will be in place, by the way, by the time the school gets started this fall. And so I told them the only problem was I could only offer them 5 slots this coming year. But the goal hopefully would be to get them to where they had more slots than that in the early college academy. Well, as things have worked out, Mr. Superintendent, we can give you 10 slots this year. And I think we have built into the MOA that we have signed where that there will be a total of 10 slots each year. So once this thing gets rolling, there would be 20 of your high school students who would be taking courses at the community college 4 days a week, coming back here right around lunchtime, I would think, and then continue to take courses at the high school. You should be able to graduate in 2 years with an associate degree with the Big Sandy Community and Technical College at the same time they graduate from your school district with a high school diploma. The great thing about this, it doesn't cost mom and dad anything. It doesn't cost the parents, guardians, anything for the students to do this, because the president at the college gets to waive the tuition. And in my short stint here, I've taken care of that, Mr. Superintendent. Now, the books are on you, but anyway, it's a great deal. I wish my children would have had the opportunity to do that. It's one of the best models I've seen across the South, and Madam Chair, I'm really glad that your school district is participating. We will have over 100 high school students at Big Sandy this coming fall participating in early college academy programs. And we think that is really phenomenal. And 4 of the 5 counties we serve are now partners with us on the early college academy. And we're very glad to have Martin County in the group. I'll do that.
We want to recognize these 10 students tonight.
Oh, you got them identified?
Yeah. We got them already here. All right.
I'm going to get the meat.
Ashley Howell. our applause until they all get up here. Evan Prince.
Yay, go with him.
Congratulations.
Hannah Bowen. Destiny McCoy.
Go, David.
Lakin Newsom. Barry Scott.
Good job,
Kendall Ward. Trent Vanover. Cassidy Gauze.
You're fine. I won't.
Carly Branscombe. And Virginia Hatfield. And this certificate, and I'm sure if you've been here before, this is a certificate from Martin County Schools. It is to recognize each one of these students for exemplifying the value of Martin education. And we have one more certificate, and that's for Dr. Crispin, so if you'd like to present that to him. We certainly appreciate the value you bring to the Martin County education, Dr. Crispin, representing the college. So we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's give these folks a big round of applause.
Congratulations. We're going to Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Great deal. Can they go out? Hey, Ron.
Yes. I'm going to fix that,
You're getting recognized for JKG, I think. For Johnson. Yeah, that's it. I think that. Yeah. So no. If you want to just have a seat, they're gonna I think recognize for JKG. Okay. Yeah. So don't worry about it. But she wants to get a picture. Yeah. Well, I think they're gonna recognize her name.
And he's still on my crew.
Our next group of folks is from our JKG, so if I can get Marcy Hanson on up here. Marcy, we'll give you the floor for just a moment. Why don't you tell the board and the audience a little bit about your recent achievements and accomplishments?
Okay, well, I'm very excited. We just came back from our JKG state competition where our JKG program at Sheldon Clark High School won the state championship for the 14th time. We had 23 students that won first place in a team or individual event. And I'm very proud of the amazing, hardworking students that we have in Sheldon Clark High School's Jobs for Kentucky's Graduates program. They are awesome. That is for sure.
Well, we want to recognize some of those students. Not all of them were able to attend with us tonight, but we want to recognize these students. And as I call your name, you can come on up. Yeah. No, we have some.
Yes, we have quite a few that are gone on the senior trip, so unfortunately they are missing out. We have some that had senior softball night, so they aren't here also. But we have a pretty good group, and I'm very proud of this amazing group of students. Okay.
Those who are not here with us tonight, but we certainly want to recognize them.
Okay, first of all, we had Logan Fitch, Aaron Tackett, Larissa Muncie. Well, let me just go back and tell you what they won first place in, because they won first place in the state. I want to make sure they are recognized. Logan Fitch won first place in the state in telephone techniques. Aaron Tackett won first place in PowerPoint and service learning. Larissa Muncie won first place in cover design and traditional postering. Allison Scott won first place in service learning. Abigail Reed won first place in service learning. Matilda Scriber, first place in service learning. Roxy Ma, first place service learning. Gage Burke, bulletin board first place, employment application second place, and essay third place. And I think everybody else pretty well is going to be with us tonight.
Virginia Hatfield.
And Virginia won first place in essay with a beautiful essay about her experiences in JKG.
Kyla Horn.
Congratulations. Kyla won first place in public speaking with a speech that would literally make you all weep. It was amazing. They asked her if she would go on the road with JKG to promote it in the future. So I think that's a pretty good endorsement when you're asked to go on the road.
Emily Walbert.
She isn't here tonight, I don't think. Emily won first place in employment interview and carpet maze and service learning.
Cameron Preston.
Good job, Cameron. Cameron is a member of our carpet maze team that has won first place for, the team he's been on has won first place for 2 consecutive years.
Tanner Lafferty.
And Tanner, also first place on that carpet maze team. Carpet maze is a great activity. Congratulations. It's a learning activity where they have to practice teamwork and learning skills, and they are really good at it. Our kids are pretty awesome.
Katie Allen.
And Katie. Yes, Katie is not with us. Katie placed first in decision making and in service learning.
Haley Lemaster.
And Haley is not with us. Haley placed first in employment application.
Morgan Caldwell.
Is Morgan out there? Morgan placed first in bulletin board and first in decision making.
Kelsey Dean.
And Kelsey had senior night, so I didn't. I was hoping her game. No, I wasn't really hoping her game would be canceled, but you know. But she placed first in decision making.
Shania Goble.
And Shania. I thought Shania was going to be here. Shania placed first in decision making and service learning.
Caitlin Horn.
She has the stomach virus, so she placed first in service learning and second in public speaking.
Aaron Sally.
Aaron is not here either. He placed first in bulletin board.
Bree Blackburn.
Bree is here. Bree and another couple students who are going to be recognized in a minute made an amazing scrapbook that represented our JKG program and was absolutely outstanding. I invite any of you all to come up and check it out at any time.
Jasmine Dials.
Jasmine, first place in scrapbook. Congratulations.
Delisha Warren.
First place in scrapbook, following in a long line of Wells first place winners there.
And Marcy Hanson. Thank you so much for all that you do. Let's give these folks a big round of applause. Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Thank you all for supporting us. We are very proud of our kids and very thankful for all the things that the Martin County Board of Education does to keep us going. Thank you.
Ava wins some sleep.
I know it's in your blood.
That wasn't a reality.
Okay, our next item is the consent agenda. This is kind of long, so I'm going to run through it, and then if you want to take it separately, you can, okay? It's discussion and possible action on March 11, 2015, March 3rd, 2015, April 1st, 2015, April 13th, 2015, April 20th, 2015, April 23rd, 2015, April 30th, 2015, and May the 5th, 2015 board members. See, we have been busy. And the next part would be discussion and possible action on treasurer orders in the amount of $733,008.87 and paid warrants in the amount of $450,836.42. Next was discussion and possible action on professional conferences, fee requests, and use of district property. Okay, any discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair. Before we consider this, I want to make a motion to amend the agenda. All right? And I make a motion to amend the agenda to the extent of adding to the executive session part of our thing, the discussion of personnel which might lead to discipline or dismissal pursuant to KRS 61.18015. I make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. I need a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, on the discussion of the board minutes.
There was one on the minutes that said we allotted 1,000 per. I don't think we did 1,000 per student. I think we did 5,000 total. On the top hill.
It was 1,000 per student, there was 5 students.
Well, that's how it worked out. Yes, okay.
I'd like to know why we are approving 8 sets of minutes. I mean, that's the really bad thing that I hate about this is that in the event, okay, Mr. Schmidt can correct me if I'm wrong, the board only speaks through its minutes. You know what I mean? The wholesale approving of 8 sets of minutes is basically mean if there's something in there that could be incorrect, you know, a year or so down the road, if you go to look at them, you're going to say, well, wait a minute, that didn't happen. Well, yeah, according to the minutes that were approved, it did happen. Or that's the action that you took or whatever. So, I mean, I'm used to coming and looking at, you know, regular meeting, maybe 1 or 2 sets of minutes, not 8. I mean, that's a lot. So, you know, I'm going to make a motion that we table this simply because, I mean, there could be, you're going to have to look through all this and make sure that there's not something that's going to come back to bite you at some future date.
Madam Chair, along with what Mr. Ball said, were we going to approve these one at a time?
We can.
Okay.
So if you want to go, we'll go one at a time, and maybe someone can explain why that one's on there. Okay? And we'll start with March the 11th, 2015.
That was an amendment from regular board meeting to special board meeting, and the ones that they have now says special on them, and they have to approve that. I mean, they don't have to, but you know, they have to,
yes,
the amendment.
This is March 11th we're talking about. Was which one of these specials in March had, it wasn't this one, it had 2 items on it. And, or was it was in April, I think April 1st, that we had, so I don't have anything to say about March 11th, I'm sorry. one at a time, I guess, I'm sorry.
April 1st, I only have one item on it.
April the 1st was an amendment due to changing the district allocation to special ed. They asked it to be amended to say special ed.
Any more questions on it? I know they were all on the, in our agenda.
But one of them didn't have an extra thing on it, and just one shows up now, though. It just had the one thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, there's another one.
Okay, April the 1st.
That was the
Yeah,
one,
it was the one,
okay,
just the one
yes.
thing. April the 13th.
The
That was a written meeting.
the reason you're approving that is because in special board meetings, we don't sign, we sign in regular board meetings, we sign minutes. We don't bring them into, you've had 6 special board meetings. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions on the April 13th meeting, minutes?
April 13th, one of my questions.
That was our regular meeting.
Yeah, one of my questions that was answered in the work session, just for the audience's sake, was that it had order 1126, and it was for $1,000 scholarships to be presented to 5 students, and I was asking now that there are 10, with the scholarship being cut in half, but after asking the superintendent and the Madam Chair, I understand it's not cutting them in half. It's $500 a semester. So there was
Yes, that's the one I was asking you about. I thought we said 5,000 total. I don't think, I didn't know we said 1,000 per student.
It's $500 per semester, which would be $1,000 per student, I think. Is what I think about it.
Right, there was 5 at that time.
There were 5, now we have 10.
What item was that?
it was item 8, order 1126.
Any more questions on that? Okay, April the 20th.
Yes.
Oh,
I was just waiting for somebody else.
Okay.
On item 2021, we approved a action on dedicating one of our surplus buses to the SCHS JROTC. Was that apple cart upset recently? Was there something, someone mentioned something back from the state about what we could or couldn't do with a bus?
Yeah, we couldn't put a banner on the bus. Couldn't put a banner, but we can donate the bus, correct?
Okay, is that right?
We can designate the bus.
So designate the bus,
I
right.
think that was a safety issue.
Can't do anything to buses, so you don't.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And item number 22, it said created 2 technology positions. I was under the understanding that it was 1.5 positions. And is that wrong?
Was this what the cats? Okay, well, see, I was under the impression that we had to use the cats for positions, but I asked at the last meeting if we could use it on technology. And he said yes. Okay.
And that was, the money mentioned was, there was a $43,000 amount possible to go for.
Or more. You can escrow it for 3 years and it can be matched.
Okay.
Matched with general fund, it can be matched with Fund 2.
So it was 2 instead of 1.5?
It's 2. I don't know where the 1.5 is. I don't recall that
Okay.
at all.
So we created 2 technology positions?
Yes, sir.
Only if we pass these minutes.
No.
I thought we had
It
to
was-
pass the minutes before
no.
they were. Okay, we can revisit that.
You know, we can rescind it.
Well, no.
We can't rescind the position.
No.
We can't abolish.
Not now, you can't.
Have the
And make a
people been hired?
Yes.
So we could have taken this money that we were told couldn't be used to upgrade our technology.
Who told you that?
Well, I think everyone here was under the impression that it had to be used for salaries.
No, that was never said. The question was, could it be used for
The
salaries?
question, I remember that it was brought up, and you said that this would address the problem that we had with the technology at the school, and you asked if I read the audit. You asked if I read the audit and said it addressed that in there. Well, I went back and read the audit. The audit didn't say anything actually. It didn't address anything about any type of deficiencies in personnel. It addressed deficiencies in the system at Sheldon Clark, at the grid. I'm not all that. I mean, you understand what I mean? Yeah, the wireless system at Sheldon Clark. That was the problem that they had nothing to do with there not being people in employee positions. It had to do with
The utilization of technology.
Yeah, it had to do with it had to do with I guess students there being able to log on. They need to log on and things like that.
We didn't have the support, and we could go back to the audio recording or other formats, I suppose, but how it was recommended to the board is that, yes, it was in the audit, it was addressed in the audit because we're not utilizing technology as we should. And we can't because we don't have the support necessary to do that.
But it wasn't the support. It wasn't the support as far as personnel. It's the support in the equipment.
I recommended that we create those 2 positions, one for the current employee who was not in a position, and a second one. And I think we discussed that one in depth.
Okay, that's where I'm getting 1.5, sir.
Well, how can you not be in a position if you've signed a contract?
Wasn't that the one where the gentleman was been employed for several years, but he'd been employed, but the board had never created a job?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that what it was?
So,
That was one of the 2, anyway.
okay, I was considering that a half because I thought it was a step up, and the step up was a half. But if that's the 2,
I think that's what it was. He was held a job, but the board had never created the position he was hired into.
right,
That was my recollection.
right.
Well, he was hired under a job code, so it had to exist. That's what I'm saying. He was hired under.
How can you sign a contract if you don't have a position?
Well, I guess that was the prior superintendent, and he was given the contract, and it was put up presumably on the salary schedule, but the board didn't approve the position.
Well, does that employee have a current contract showing that he was hired?
Well,
He has to, correct?
you can hire people into a position that doesn't exist. I guess the employee over time could have rights. Legally, the board has to create a position before somebody can be hired into it. So I guess the board, my understanding was the board was creating 2 positions. One was a new position, I may be wrong, was funded by somebody else was funding it. The other was just to make legal the position he had already held.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
I think that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
If that's it, I can concur.
I think that's right.
That's what I thought. So actually, we only created one
One
position.
new job, one new position. You really only created one, you just gave legal recognition to one that has been, I guess it was de jure, and you made it de facto, you made it legal. Created a position for a man who was already holding that job anyway.
Okay, these minutes were April 13th. How long is a job usually posted for? 30 days?
Not for classified.
How long is it posted? 10
We,
days?
it's a practice, there's no law
On a
requirement.
classified,
Do we already
it's not
have the
required,
grant?
it's not required.
Is the CATS money already here?
Yes.
Already in
Yeah,
place?
we can, we escrow 3 years, up to 3 years we can escrow.
Thank you, Counselor, you cleared me up.
Any more questions on April 13th? If not, let's go to April the 20th. Anyone have any questions on that one? This was on superintendent evaluation, and we have closed session on it.
There are, who did the minutes for that April 13th minute, April 13th meeting?
Carol, and I would
Who
say.
did? I'm sorry.
On the April 13th meeting,
Yes.
you did the minutes, correct?
Any questions on April the 20th? If not, we've got April the 23rd. This one was on the student expulsion.
Working session with Carol's mom.
Yes, and, yes. Okay, then we got April the 30th. Yeah, yes, okay, yes. Okay, nothing on that one? Okay, March the 11th. I'm sorry. Next one is May the 5th.
Oh, I don't have May 5th on here. It's in this, but it's not on the, okay, she attached it on there. What was the May 5th minutes, Carol?
What's your question?
Budget.
Yes, that was on
Oh,
budget
yeah.
training. It was just the
Working
budget,
session.
working
Working
session for the budget,
yes.
okay?
I'm sorry, my computer's so slow I can't.
Okay, we went through each one of these. What do you want to pass them, make a motion, or anyone have any more questions? What?
I will vote to pass them all except for the 13th.
Okay, we have a motion on the board to pass all the dates except April the 13th.
And remind me, the maker of the motion, exactly what is the particular problem with 13?
Yes.
And just for my own reporting.
That's the KETS computer technology money. We thought it was for a position, but last meeting I asked if it had to be used on a position and he said no.
And now I have it.
I think so.
Okay,
I have no idea.
well, I'll second your motion. Your motion.
Okay, I've got a motion, I've got a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Smokey Robinson, there's.
Okay, the motion passes. Next is discussion of possible action on treasury orders. Does anyone have any questions or comments on that? Okay, if not, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Got a second? I need, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next item is discussion and possible action on professional conferences, vehicle request, and use of district property. There was listed those in your packet. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
And I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, our next item is discussion and possible action on superintendent matters report only.
Okay, we don't need a motion to vote on this.
No.
I'm good with it now.
No.
Okay. So our next item is discussion and possible action on bids on food service vehicles.
Thank you. I believe the board received the vehicle bids in the package, and Ms. Marcy Hale and also Mr. Larry James is here to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, what kind of vehicle? Okay, you had requested something like a box trailer or something to haul. Is that correct?
Just a vehicle with enough cargo capacity
To haul food out to various sites.
summer feeding sites, after-school meal program.
Like
possible
it's
emergency.
yeah, I was thinking something along the lines of, like a food truck that they have on these the reality shows. Did you want something where you could take?
And actually prep the food out. No, we would prep the food out in the kitchens and then we deliver it in insulated.
Okay, you all done it like at Dempsey, that
Yeah.
there's places like that. There's some local places. I'm assuming ARO would probably be someplace, or a local church or something. Would that be?
We have several sites. I'm working on the application right now. We're up to about 21 sites, summer feeding sites.
And this is for summer?
Community
I assume
center.
this is for winter too.
Yes, emergency, yes, so that we can have the capability to take out emergency feeding meals. If we have to be off for extended periods of time, we can apply for some emergency feeding and have the capability to get the food out there to some of the needier places.
Have you inspected these vehicles? Have you looked at them?
The actual vehicles?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
I was just wondering about the Expeditions, which they're both the same model, EL.
I've compared the specs.
What?
I've compared specs online.
And they're the same?
Yes, they have basically, there may be just like a few inches of difference in cargo capacity, but
So which one would you recommend? I mean,
Well, again, I was just looking at the lowest bid
Right.
on the type of vehicle that we were looking for, and that was the
So you're-
Expedition EL.
okay, your cargo space, I mean, will that give you enough?
Mhm.
I trust your judgment. I mean, you're the one that,
You'll be driving there, right?
Well, you know the job.
Food service staff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any more questions? If not, you make a motion to purchase the lowest bid.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, got a
Is it
motion
the lowest
second.
bid or the?
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
The
Expedition EL?
Yes.
Or the lowest?
The Expedition EL.
Right.
Not the lowest,
Lowest,
because it doesn't have the.
No, it's not the
Yes,
lowest.
the other two did not have enough cargo capacity.
Right.
So,
And I think one was a four-wheel drive. Is that?
So which one, the one from Fannon's or the one from Bruce Walker's? Oh, can I say that?
Yeah.
The one-
Bruce Walker's was the lowest. Is that the one you wanted, the Bruce Walker's one?
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second, and all in favor say aye.
To do what?
to
Purchase the.
accept the bid from Bruce Walker's Ford Pikeville
Thank you, sir.
Expedition.
I'll make that motion again.
Make sure that's in the minutes.
Okay,
I'll
second it again.
And I appreciate what you do, and I think it's a great program.
Okay, got a motion and
Great
second.
service.
I need, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Next item is discussion and possible action on KEDC board membership due in the amount of $2,348.83.
This is an annual membership for our educational co-op. We do receive significant discounts throughout the year in professional development. We also receive a lot on our technology as well.
Does anyone have any questions on it? Comments?
This letter is from a young lady that you're aware of, I guess, down in your
Nancy.
county.
Yeah, I know Nancy.
Yeah. You need a motion?
I need a motion.
You got it.
Let's wait and see. Okay.
oh, yeah.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And the next item is discussion and possible action on 2015, 2016 financial audit bids.
Thank you. Tammy? go ahead.
Yes, we received two bids, both at the same price, the amount $18,000. One was from Wells and Company, our previous auditor, but he rescinded his bid. He's been hired by Lawrence County. And then Wallen and Puckett from Pikeville, Pike County, and they came highly recommended from a neighboring county, and that would be actually our one and only bid for the school year 14-15 fiscal year.
So our previous auditor can't do it, or?
Right, that's right. He went to, he rescinded his bid, so we have Wallen Puckett from Pike County.
He did a good job, though,
He
didn't
did a good job.
Yeah,
And he had been with us for a long time, and all the finance ladies and I will miss that firm doing our audits, but this will also meet the recommendation from the state to change auditors. So we'll work with him and do the best we can. Yes.
Well, I sure hope you have as good a relationship with this firm as you did the last, because I know you applauded the last group, and
yeah.
This is a very good group too. I'll make a motion.
I've got a motion, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And on this next item, I've been asked about maybe tabling it to a later date. So I'm going to need a motion to table the discussion and possible action on board meeting policy, procedure, and protocol.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. The next item is discussion and possible action on creation of one teaching position, Inez Elementary School, for the period of July the 1st, 2015 to August the 31st, 2015. Fund source, general fund.
I'll make a motion.
Well, just a minute. After August 31st, what happens to that position
Or
we
how
create?
the transition goes, right?
It's dissolved. Okay, so it goes away, that position goes away. Okay.
Okay, I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is discussion and possible action on creation of one teaching position at Martin County Middle School for RTI program for the period of July the 1st, 2015 to December the 1st, 2015, Title I fund.
Okay, and that's basically the same thing, right? That was for a science position, if I'm correct, science. So are we gonna have somebody who's gonna
No, you already have a science position. You're allocating this for the RTI position. Science
response
position's already
intervention?
there.
Okay, the response intervention, right? Okay, what?
That's what you're creating
You're creating
for that period of time.
for that period of time. Why do we need a response intervention?
And then after that,
For the next year.
what picks it up, what fund picks it up?
It won't, it's a retirement. So what will happen is that the individual who is projected to retire that sits now in the allocation, school allocation for science, will be transferred to this created position. And and we will be able to advertise for a science teacher immediately.
What happens if the teacher doesn't retire?
Oh, maybe.
They've already
committed, okay.
It's
But
been
they can
accepted.
can they change their mind?
Well, it's been
Why don't we
accepted.
just post the job for
Once
December
it's-
the
Well,
1st?
if they've retired effective the end of the first semester, and it's been accepted in writing, then they can't unretire absent the superintendent's consent.
Are you not allowed to post the job now for December 1st?
Can we table this? I'd like to maybe table this. I don't know enough about this one.
Superintendent, may I speak on this, or Madam Chair, please?
Yes.
One of the things with this is, Anita had asked if we could possibly post a job to hire in December. If you were to do that, there is not very many teachers. If I was applying for a job and I had, A job that I could start in July and B job that I would have to wait and start till December, I'm going to take A job 9 times out of 10 so that I could begin that position immediately. The biggest concern is that if we wait until December, we've been in these shoes in all of our schools from high school to elementary, where that people have retired mid-year, and when they retire, the pool is pretty low of teachers that we can actually put into those positions. Applicants are very low. Give you an example. TFA students in December, we've had these scenarios. I have since being a principal. Applicants in December. We had this happen this year in our school in another position called TFA and called Morehead State University, seeing what their mid-year December turnout rollout was going to be. Morehead State University had 0 and TFA had 0. So that's the reason for this primarily, is so that we can get it on the books now, so that the application process, so that you have an opportunity to hire quality applicants that each of us want in those positions. And that's the reason it's there now. Sure, yeah, you can wait till December, post that job, and you can end up with a full-year substitute in that position from December all the way through the year, as has happened in many of our schools throughout this district. So I would recommend that we move upon it, and the quicker the better, so that we can post these positions and get the best applicant for our students.
So you're saying you have a better chance to recruit quality people?
I understand.
Absolutely.
Okay, I understand it.
And once it fills into the retired, it goes away?
Yes.
Yes, it goes away. I'll make a motion to do it.
I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Next item is discussion and possible action on fully funded MCMS media specialist librarian FTE general funds position is currently 0.5 GF and 0.5 T1.
Those are the positions that you and Terry were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, sharing. Yes. Okay. I have no problem with that.
You at the present time have to share your media specialist.
Well, currently, at this current time that we're in right now, for this year, we had a media specialist that was shared and that retired throughout this year. So we really haven't had a media specialist in either of those in our buildings from early year up until present point. At this point, Quillen has a 0.5, I believe, in the building. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And at this point, I have a 0.5 GF and a 0.5, as we discussed in last month's, I believe, in last month's board meeting. And you guys were all in favor that time of being full GF because we were all worried about how the Title I money was going to shake out. So it's to make that a full GF position at Martin County Middle School is what's on the table here.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Let me
go
just say
ahead.
the
Sorry.
allocation, it'll become an allocation. So next year when we start, we do allocation funding, our allocation formulas, Martin County Middle School will have a full librarian on there. So it will, I mean, you can approve it or not approve it, but at the population of middle school and high school, you can't have those schools with population of students that they have without a full-time librarian.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Okay, have a motion, I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Discussion and possible action on creation of a 0.5 media specialist librarian for Warfield Elementary School. Fund source contingent upon school Title I funds.
Okay, yeah, okay. I was thinking where the other half's gonna go, but the other half's gonna go to you, right? On the 0.5, the media. No.
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 Terry has always had a 0.5 allocation general fund from the board, as other other elementary schools. What Terry would like to do, he's asking for a full allocation, and the other 0.5 he will support with Title I.
So he currently has a 0.5. This 0.5
Yes.
will give him a whole?
Yes.
Yes.
Because he can't hire half a person. I would think if anybody could do that, Terry Fleming could do it.
If he squeezed that 0.5. Where is Quillen?
He had to leave.
Oh, okay. Well, it's no fun talking about him when he's not here, so.
I would hope later on that we can have full all.
We're working on that.
Amen.
We're going to have, I think we're going to be able to work it out before the end of this year, this school year.
Sounds great, sounds great.
Yeah, I have no problem with this.
Okay, do I get a motion on that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to
Okay.
do 0.5 media specialist.
Okay. I've got a motion, I got a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on Eden Elementary roof replacement and hire, appoint an architect.
Madam Chair, I spoke to our attorney when he came in. We just received this today from Ross Torrance, so I don't know if he's had an opportunity to look over it, and I think he would like to have an opportunity to look over this from Ross Torrance. It's a standard form from KDE that you've probably seen before, or at least some of the board members have, but Mike?
Well, it's, of course, you're getting the architect before you let bids or anything else. The agreement doesn't have a compensation particular method in it. I'd like the opportunity to maybe call the Department of Education and ask about that, because some of the they're like additional services are at rates of up to $200 an hour for various things. I just want to make sure you know what you're getting into. when
Or
you
you
sign
talking
a
about Ross
contract.
Terrence?
Yeah, so I mean, you either table it and bring it back at the next meeting, pass it subject to me signing off on it, that it's okay. The KDE would have to approve it anyway, but they might approve a supplemental schedule that you approved, and you might not want to do that. For instance, and it's been months ago, can't remember exactly what it was, but Johnson County had an architect that suggested a fee schedule that was added on to the back at various hourly rates, and they were able to negotiate much of that away. I just wouldn't, I don't know if that's possible, whether you want to, but it might be worthwhile to look into it to see if you could, and if you could, fine. If you can't, then you can. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're approving a contract that has a fee schedule, but the amount, of course, is unknown, and you don't know what, there aren't really any services there that are, specifically delineated. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not an architect, but if I were asked to sign it myself, I want somebody to look at it and call around and make sure some of those rates were okay. That's all I'm saying.
Should we split this motion? One is the replacement of the roof, and the other one is...
Probably.
You recommend that, don't you?
Yeah, I would probably do it separate so that we can take a look at the architect.
Okay, do what separate, I'm sorry.
One, you're going to vote to replace the roof, right?
Okay, yeah.
And the second, you're going to hire, if you're going to hire this architectural firm, you might want to hold off on doing that so we can see if these fees are okay or not.
So can we amend the motion then?
Yeah.
Well, with Ross Terrence, I know that Ron Mural, the roofs are his specialty. We had talked, and I don't want to get into the thing we got at Warfield Middle School. State line roofing is definitely off my list. They put, and Ron Mural talked about PVC roofing. I mean, he was very, very excited about the prospect of having a roof that exceeds metal roofs and the regular shingle roofs.
I don't think this issue is one about qualifications or competency as much as it is the fee schedule.
Yeah.
That I'd just like to take a look at it. I'd recommend you do, but you can do whatever you want. It's your call.
I just want to get a roof
I don't know.
that will last. Yeah. For a while.
I'd just like to make one comment since Ms. Preston is here, of course. I like to step up for Eden, or my district, but I just want to reiterate, once the roof is on, and which I stated in the work session, and it's deemed leak-free, that we'd like to look at, of course, replacing the damaged flooring within the gymnasium, and also since our volleyball team has to play their home games, and look at whatever wells or whatever for volleyball stands, so, which I guess that's separate, I will do that separately, but
I guess this just involves the roof and it doesn't address.
But once that's done,
other
we'll
issues.
bring it up. I appreciate it, Larry.
So, Madam Chair, if we could amend the motion, discussion, possible action on Eden Elementary roof replacement.
Okay, so what it is, do we need a motion to replace the roof?
Yes, and does the board understand the funding source for the roof replacement when you make the motion to replace the roof?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second it.
I have a
How
second.
much they're going to charge?
All in favor, say
You know
aye.
how much they're going to charge?
Opposed?
We will find it.
Yeah, we're making a motion to replace it, not.
Right.
And that gives us the opportunity to look at the price.
Oh, you're just putting out a bid.
It would have to be.
What happens
So what
is
you
a
say,
question
is-
about researching the architect fees. What did you just say on that? He recommended you just take a look at it. Before you hire the architect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
We haven't done that yet.
No, we
Yeah,
will.
but that's before the decision to repair the roof.
No.
I
What
would
exactly is the motion?
The motion is to replace the roof on Eden.
Yeah.
It needs replaced, it's a bad roof.
So once we do that, then we'll come back. It was on here, but he wants to look at the.
Running out of trash cans.
Yeah, it's costing us a fortune in trash cans, Roger said. So.
Okay, I had a motion and a second. All in favor say aye to replace the roof at Eden Elementary. Aye. Opposed? Okay, what about the architect? Do we need to do that or just, no? Okay. Our next item is discussion and possible action on board funding of 5 additional students accepted into the Early College Academy to offset textbook expenses, $500 each semester, student year 15-16 only, school year.
And for the minutes, this will be general fund is the source. And the books are being bought by the district, used by the students.
Stored in the library.
Yes. Well, they'll be kept whether
Kept for, you know, a library situation, yes.
For the following year, the students will get a,
Yeah.
have them off the next year.
When I talked to the president out there, we were talking about the book issue, and he said, talking to somebody said something about a passcode or something. Was that you, Megan, and talked about a passcode in certain books?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I asked him about that. The problem with buying books and then reusing them the next year, and he said, well, that's all right. I mean, it's up to each teacher how they change books every year. It could be, if you buy a book this year and it's no good the next, it's up to that professor. He suggested, though, that you could rent the books. If you rent the books, it's about 50% off if you rent the books. Let's say a $100 book is going to cost you, $50 a year to rent it. That's about a savings of half. Of course, if you could buy the book, if you bought the same book and you were sure that you could use that book, say, for 4 years, I would say go ahead and do it. But if you could rent the book for half, if you got a $100 book, you rent it for $50 that year, then the next year it's going to be obsolete. If you buy it, it's just, it's not good. So I maybe it'd be good for you to look into that. Okay, see which would be, better, an outright purchase or renting. I'm all for the funding. I mean, I have no problem with the funding.
Did they tell you that it had to be new or they wouldn't be able to get online?
There are certain classes, I also spoke with Moorhead too, with the Craft Academy. There are certain classes that you have to have the new book because of a code, an access code to get online. Like Ms. McCoy said, some of the AP biology books are that way. Yeah. And it's just it's kind of like a money gimmick, I guess, and you have to buy the new book. But Big Sandy, I don't know how many classes are like that, but I mean, that could be a possibility.
Yeah, it would be something to look into.
Yeah, I'll check.
If we could buy a book and it lasts kids 3 years, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And I wondered if they're all taking the same class at the same time, or will some of them be taking it in the fall, and then someone else can use it in the spring? I didn't know if that was a possibility.
Yeah, that's something.
Because I don't know
what they do that. Will they all be taking the same classes?
It depends on their schedules and their ACT scores for certain math classes. Like if they've already had college algebra, then they'll be taking something different. So that's why I think being able to keep the books in the library and kind of starting like a catalog for those kids, I think that would be beneficial. I mean, you can rent them, but...
Yeah, I'd rather buy them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather buy them outright if they're, going to be
2 or 3 years.
Usable for, I would think at least a 3-year period, at least 3 years.
Well, with the board controlling the money and the purchase of the books, that makes us accountable for the thing, like if somebody is the next semester taking a whole different bunch of classes and we can coordinate, we can see on paper what books we have and what books are needed for new classes.
Okay, so somebody's taking like a Math 101 class this semester and another student's going to take it the next semester. You can buy one book. both kids can use it. All right.
Any more questions on it? If not, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on board appointing 2 students accepted into the Craft Academy, Morehead State University, to offset textbooks expenses, $500 each semester, school year 15-16 only.
I'll make a motion, please.
Okay, I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on non-traditional instructional plan application.
This is the snow days,
Yeah.
the thing we didn't get to do last year.
Yes. Do you have any questions on that?
Review with me, please, see what exactly all that covers, that grant covers.
It's not a grant.
No, it's
I'm sorry.
That's a snow, okay, you're talking about snow days.
Yeah, we'll make count snow days.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion on the clock.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on investing in innovation grant through KEDC.
Same question. That was really meant for that. What all does it take in, sir?
It would be the College and Career Counselor that's provided by KEDC.
Any questions or comment on it?
Have we been accepted for it, or?
Madam Chair.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, it's an application process. We're just saying
Oh,
that we
it's
will
been
support the process. And they first have to get permission to write the grant. So if they make it into that qualifying group, then they will write the grant. So that it's just a layer of steps.
And what's this for?
College and Career Counselor.
Do a good job, Lisa. To explain.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on 2015-16 NASA Network Agreement Aviation, $4,750.
I think this is a continuation of our partnership with Air and Space Academy. We have at the middle school and at the high school.
This has been a great opportunity for us.
Really has.
I think it's a little heavy program, but it's only one week's of licensing, so I'd like to make a motion that we keep it in place.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on Sheldon Park High School 10-day school attendance stipend school year 14-15 only, funded by School Title I.
Oh, this is the thing with the DPP, right?
It's to support the attendance strategies of Sheldon Park High School.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that,
Mr. Grace.
Nothing to do with me. Huh? Nothing to do with me.
But
this has nothing to do with you.
it's, the people work with you, correct, sir? Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, the person.
Make sure they know that I'm
Okay, but the person. Okay, but I just want to make sure this stipend that we're going to ask for, or that we're going to give, will help you in your duties, correct? Or help you
not you.
It helps me.
Helps, okay, the duties at high school as far as attendance.
That's what she does. She does a lot of things other than attendance, but, you know, she
Okay, I was under
she's
impression
got a little
last,
bit more time.
okay, I was under impression last year when this,
Sherry.
Mrs. Meadows was here last year, that this person would be working here with you.
That was her recommendation.
Huh?
That, she gave that recommendation to the board, that you maybe hire a secretary or somebody like a secretary.
Who would work with you here at the central office?
She made a lot of recommendations. I mean, some were more doable than others, but never was brought back up.
She's gonna stay at the high school, right?
Yeah. What it would do is, I think she's got like a 200-day contract now. It would just be 210 this year. 2 more weeks.
So that'll extend this person's contract.
It does.
It's kind of about how it wants, right?
Can be. Just said.
Yeah, it says.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion, I need a second.
Second.
I'll
I have a
second.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on alternative school relocation and realignment.
I say let's table this till we get some more information. So I'll make a motion for it.
I say we kill it.
What kind of information?
I
Different.
received information on it once before, and it failed to pass on a 4-to-1 vote.
I just don't say, I mean, you don't sentence alternative kids to the community center. I mean, are you gonna get in trouble? We're gonna send you to the community center. I mean, that's not gonna, it's, I mean, the whole thing with the liability, I'm like, you know, Mr. McCoy, it's gonna be, I mean, exposes us to a lot of liability. And get food down to them, if, you know, something happened. And another thing is the student safety. I mean, you got alternative kids, which could be, I'm not saying they would, I'm not saying any of them would, but I don't think parents of kids would be very, very comfortable knowing that there's that little Johnny or Sally and stuff down there at you know, attending day events at the community center with kids in an alternative classroom setting attending school there. I mean, you know, plus you got the thing of security. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine what would happen? And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not going to say this happened, but I'm just suggesting it. What if one of these kids brought a gun? He shot up the community center. Then it gets out that, well, the Board of Education rented a spot at the community center for kids to go there. Didn't do anything as far as in regards to security there to make it, at least if they're on a closed campus, they're secure. You don't control it once those kids get off that. I mean, once they leave the school and they're in another environment, and
Madam Chairman,
but I'm willing to hear.
The high school's here to report tonight. They can either report here or in the school reports.
I'd just like to make one comment before, and my vote wasn't against kids. You know what Mary said.
Neither were ours.
No, and I respect your, my concern was as far as the space at the high school. So I respect your vote and how you feel, but that's the reason. I know we're kind of cramped as far as classroom space, and also that aspect of it. So that's the reason I voted.
Well, we did have space. We had mobile units to use.
We have a high school here that wanted to give us their view on this. Do you want to?
Yes, I'd like to listen to it.
Yeah, I can listen. Yeah, I can listen to it.
It's their school.
Madam Chair, I plan to look through the old minutes and bring up a few things on the agenda next time that I want to talk about again. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to say, I visited the Phelps Day Treatment Center in Pike County last week. Russ Mayo and Paul Baker accompanied me, and they have a wonderful program over there. The thing about alternative education, what we currently have, and even if it has to stay on site, I need to reinvent the wheel. I'm not happy with what I inherited. I live with it this year, but I want to do what's best for kids. And by having it and talking to their director, Eddie Blackburn, you're welcome to speak with him. He said he'd be glad to talk with you. He really recommends an off-site. If you want to be successful, we need an off-site place where these kids can have their own school, place where they can be successful. Where you put it's up to you. But they have group counseling every day for an hour. They have individual counseling a minimum of 1 hour a week. They have 2 teachers, and one teacher teaches English and science, and the other one teaches math and social studies, and they rotate. They actually service kids from ages 12 to 17 and a half. And I really think that's where we need to go. I want kids to be successful. There are some kids who, in our current system, just don't quite fit in. And they could be more successful if we had a better system. But truly, we need a good alternative program for our kids. Expecting them to sit on a computer for 7 hours a day is just, I think, asking too much. Plato's an okay program, but to expect a child to sit there for 7 hours and do nothing but work on a computer, I've got to change that.
Is that all they're doing now?
Pretty much that's what they do. They sit on a computer and they do their lessons.
And then that would change with the relocation.
I think it could, if we...
I think it should now.
Yeah. Well, but in a relocation, if they had their own principal and their own... like I said, I think they could be their own school, and I think Marcy can speak well. She's taught an alternative school, what I call true alternative school.
Well, that's why I was asked today, because I think I'm one of the only 2 people that are here in the school district now that have ever taught at a true alternative school that was at a separate location when it used to be at Benner's Branch. When we were there, we had teachers that taught English, we had teachers that taught math, science, history, you know, every subject was covered. But we did have a staff of teachers that worked with them. And we had a principal, Landon Priest, and that is an important part, is having a good principal that can keep your students under control and give them a sense of pride in the things that they're doing. The thing that, and I am for, I mean, I don't have any problem saying I am absolutely for the alternative school being off the main school grounds, but I will tell you why. Because those students need an opportunity to be successful. And I've heard, I've seen all this stuff about people saying that they're segregated. Well, they are segregated. Right now, they are segregated. They are separate from the other students that are in the high school. And if they were in because I've been there, if they're in a private facility, you know, a separate facility where they have the opportunity to be leaders in their school, because right now they don't. They are not given that opportunity. Now they could be back to, because once they're it, then you know they are the leaders. They are the ones that have to be there to show all of the things that need to be shown and do all the things that need to be done. And I know that I absolutely know that it works because I saw it work. I was there firsthand. And you know, our students engaged in regular classwork. They were part of different programs. We brought in lots of different activities, like working with the Community Action Program and the Extension Office and the Conservation Office. There was things that we were able to bring in. But right now we have one teacher that is teaching alternative. And that is, and while I think he is doing a great job, that is really difficult for one teacher to take on that entire role of the entire alternative school. I would like to see it off campus just because I want them to be able to succeed and do things. They shouldn't be the bad kids, because they're not. And those are the kids that, you know, a lot of them will be the kids that we have here. They're going to be integrated into our community forever. And we need to let them learn how to be successful, how to be leaders in their own right. And that's why, and I'm for it, not just because of the space issues, because certainly that is an enormous issue at the high school as it is now. But I'm for it because I want to see them succeed. Last year, when we first moved, alternative was, my classroom was separated, and alternative was right beside my JKG classroom. And we worked together with their students all the time, and they were so excited to come out and to be able to work in JKG or, do some of the activities that we were doing, because they were able to have some ownership in the school and they were able to do things. But now they're, back out there and they're alone and they're segregated, and they have the success that they can achieve is just limited to what they can do on a computer, and that's just not a good situation for them. I want them to be. I want every kid to be successful. That's why I'm here, and that's why I know all of you all are here. But I do. I want every kid to have the opportunity to succeed, to do amazing things, because they all can. They just have to be given that leadership role. But it's difficult the way it's set up right now. And either way it goes, however it goes, some things need to be tweaked there. And because, like I said, they're going to be here. They're going to be our people that are going to be beside us in our housing areas. We want them to be successful.
What was wrong with the mobile units when they were up there and the kids were there? I mean, they were, segregated to a degree, right? How did that work?
Well, I think it worked to a degree. But you still had the kids that were out, and then they had to come into the school. They had to come into the regular community where they still weren't allowed to, be talking to anybody. They had to be escorted to the restrooms. Their lunch was private apart from everybody else, and they still felt like they were not leaders in the school. And nobody should feel like that. Not in a school. Everybody should be a leader.
That's not like that.
I happen to also be someone who did a little work in the alternative school. By the way, I want to say I love Landon Priest, and he was an amazing man, and
a great principal.
He always had my respect, and he had the respect of every child that was around him. And you bringing up his name, I really go back, but I wanted to make that. For sure, I loved him. I did many hours of my education work when I was going to classes at UK at the Fayette County Alternative Classroom. And it happened to be located out off the school campus. It was right behind the Board of Education office. And I thought that was a real good place because it just seemed that but anyway, they had different classes every day, and of course the computer wasn't as great a thing as it was 100 years ago when I did my training, but the kids need to be offered different classes, and it rather shocked me tonight to hear that kids were sitting behind a computer for seven and a half hours. I believe that the space and a relocation will become a reality when things are loosened up in this district 3 and 4 years from now, where we will have that space. We will have that space where we can save $800,000 by not renting this space for the Board of Education. It can be moved in one of our places besides the utilities that we pay every month. We can have a place for an alternative school, but I really, and Ms. Hanson, I hope you understand that I'm really worried about liability problems down there, and it was also, and then secondly, you look at the proposal was to hire 2 teachers. One would be, I guess, a head teacher, / principal, and then you had an aide, and then you had to provide transportation from Sheldon Clark to the alternative school and back, and that includes a driver's service. And then you had lunch that you brought to the site, and that included services. And that's why I voted no, was because of the, number one, the liability, and the second, the expense, and thirdly, this is going to serve about 6 to 8 students.
Well, ideally, a great alternative would actually have more students.
Sure, like David's school.
Right, it would have a community within it.
We're right there together, ma'am.
I know. Hey, Mickey, I know.
I didn't mean to call you babe, but yeah. 2 women hollered at me today. Greg Preston was standing with me at my shop and said, "Let's go to Myrtle Beach." And I said, "I'm ready." They said, "I don't know what Nina would say." I said, "We can take care of that. We'll call her and tell her I'm gone." But anyway, I don't disagree with you. And I know the space is a thing. In fact, I think that the lack of space at the high school triggers, especially at the first of the year, a lot of misbehavior and a lot of fights and assaults. And because the hallways are so small and everything, and we need moved not just the alternative school. We need to move the high school, and that's what it's all about. And anyway, that's all I got to say.
This wouldn't create any positions. So, as I shared before, it won't create any positions.
I saw that there were 3 people on your. You cutting somewhere else?
No, but it will not create any required allocations to do this.
Well, what was it? $750 a room a month.
Do you have any suggestions for transportation?
Transportation, we're already paying, right? I mean, we have vocational runs. There's no added cost for transportation, correct?
And when we reinvent our alternative school, our numbers are going to go up because, I mean, I know in my class alone, I teach seniors. I've had about 5 students that should have been in an alternative setting, and they were not, and right now, and they dropped out.
And when we increase the number of students, we also increase the number of employees it takes to be down there.
Well, our numbers will go up because the dropout rate's going to be at 18, and those kids that would typically want to drop out at 16 with a parent signature.
Well, that's what you feel like. That's what you. But.
So, are there a teacher is there a teacher in there right now? I hear someone say. They log on to a computer and they're all day. What does the teacher do?
Oversight, and just essentially oversight.
So the teacher doesn't teach them, help them?
They're all in different, and you jump in there, but they are all doing different subjects because they're,
So what's the teacher do?
Primarily oversight and babysit.
What does the principal do right now? The principal of the alternative school right now. Oh, so there would be a creation of one position.
No, it would be a moving a head teacher or a principal to that location. We have a principal in the building
Well, now,
as part of this responsibility.
honestly, that's opinion. That's my opinion. I feel like, because I have seen what you can do with a good, solid principal, so I feel like a great alternative should have a great principal too.
Why don't we, it's the end of the school year. We can look at something over the summer. We can look at maybe some way to address this in a different way that gives these kids an environment where they can be, as Marcy said, where they feel like that. But away from the public. It's got to be an environment that the school system itself controls. It can't be at the community center. It just can't be. Mickey brought up a good point. Fayette County, it was right at the Board of Education. We rent this space here, so if you're only talking about 6 to 8 kids, put them here.
Yeah, this room.
But if we have a larger enrollment, kids that would come back or not drop out?
Well, we can look at
And
it.
if cows could fly.
Yeah.
Did you want about the playoff?
Well, I mean, I was just sharing with them, the reason that they use the Play-Doh is because the one teacher that is with them in the alternative school is only certified in one content area. They have to be able to learn all content areas, and that's what the Play-Doh program is being used for now. If they were in an environment where we could support them with, 2 teachers, and like, I don't know if it was Ms. Hanson or who was talking about, where you could have 2 teachers to supplement more content to provide to them, they wouldn't have to use the computer and rely on that. And
So do they have any classes right now that they do with that teacher that's not on a computer?
Not unless it's his content area, I would imagine.
Which is,
that's
what's his content area?
What is it?
PE.
So you need a teacher.
I mean,
You're not gonna find
they
a
need
teacher
someone.
certified.
We had a-
high school level, so. The best is probably math, because that's what most people can get once you can read.
I think we ought to vote.
Yeah.
I call for a vote on the
Okay.
proposal.
Okay, and then
I'll make a motion. Oh, okay, what's your vote?
I just called for a vote.
Okay, I will make a motion that we leave it the way it is. I mean, we voted before 4-1 not to move the alternative school. This is an issue maybe we can address during the summer for the upcoming school year. You know, it's something we can look at. For right now, there's no rush. I make a motion that we leave it as is, that we not lease any additional space and move the alternative school off campus. Do we not do that?
okay, I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Have a second, okay, discussion.
I was just going to ask if we could make a motion to table this for a little while and look into it.
Is this something we could go back to later?
For the motion? Like I said, we can address it this summer.
Well, I would say that we would need to address it before December because.
Did you have a second on your motion?
Yeah.
On
He
yours?
didn't have to withdraw or go ahead and have the vote and see how it comes out, right?
Usually.
She wants to table, but you already have a motion and a second that needs to be voted on unless the person who
We
made
could
the
look for
motion
possible other
withdraws
places
it.
maybe, or look at this place again, or do some research on this.
Okay, well, let's vote on it, and then we can decide what to do. I make a
Table
motion.
it? Table it. Will you withdraw your motion and table this?
No, my motion, I wanted to, that we don't do it.
Well, it's May, it's May, if we wait till June, I mean, that would be the ideal time to do it.
Yes, wait and see if there's another place maybe.
Let's explore our avenues.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion, and I'll let you.
Okay, just make a motion to table this until we.
Okay, I have a motion to table it a little bit more. Do I have a second? A second, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed?
No.
Okay, Reed,
Why'd you withdraw it? You were going to vote no, you should have voted yes.
motion passes. The next item, I've been asked that we table it into a special session, which is discussion and possible action on 2016 tentative budget. So, do I get a motion to table it? Yes. I got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action on closeout of BG4 and BG5, Martin County Middle School roof replacement project BG number 14-214.
Brent, it's a roof, okay, is it okay, man? Is the roof over there finally fixed?
We've not had a leak since the last time they came and fixed it. I mean, it's been dry.
It's been dry?
Yeah, and I don't know the exact date. Larry would know the exact date on it.
I've got a log, it's been a long time.
It's fixed.
It's fixed?
I mean, we've had.
Well, upstairs in that one room that's in the thing there where the problem, that it does not leak at all.
No.
believe you.
Do I get a motion to close out?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion, need a second.
I'll second.
I have a second, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is discussion of possible action on statement of authority, food service documentation.
That's actually the document that needs to be signed to go with my summer feeding lien application. It's just a statement of authority that says that I can sign documents pertaining to my summer feeding program application.
Does everyone understand that?
Yeah, just let her go ahead and do your summary, yeah.
Okay, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And next is discussion of possible action on summer feeding program. Same thing.
Same thing. I'll make that motion.
Okay, I have a motion, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, discussion and possible action on surplus properties.
Yes, during the working session, we talked about 3 additional properties that have been surplus by the board, and we would have waited till you got here, Mike, to help us through the process of doing a deed search probably first, or realtor, or how would you propose that the board would go forward and identify whether these properties are indeed belong to the Board of Education.
Yeah, we're finding sometimes that's not the case. I think we need to find the deeds that apply to the properties, and if, I don't know if they're not kept here, somebody needs at least to find that out. And then basically vote to declare the property surplus, or you can vote, you can identify them now to declare them surplus, but take no action until we can find out what the status is.
They have been declared surplus.
Well, I wouldn't, if they've been declared surplus.
Without a deed search?
Well, we can't, you gotta have a deed. The problem the last time was apparently the board hired a realtor who advertised property for sale that had no known description. And so my recommendation would be, if the properties have been declared surplus, that we first, that we get the deeds believed to represent the property. And once we do, then we need to send the information to the Department of Education and ask for their approval to sell the property. Has that been done yet?
Yes.
Have they approved the sale?
Well, without that deed, no.
No. Well, why don't we get our deeds and find out? You would like to think that the Department of Education would have copies of deeds, but if for older properties, they never do. So I think, why don't we vote to get the deeds, come back the next time, and then ask the Department of Education to go ahead and approve the declaration of surplus, and then we can move to see how we're going to do it. I mean, whether you're going to try to sell them, you're either going to have it appraised. You're probably going to have it appraised anyway, but either sell it by seal bid or by auction, or under certain circumstances, they'll allow you to go ahead and sell it if you have an appraisal from a department approved appraisal. And I have a list of those things. But right now, I would suggest we see if we can find the deeds. And we can do that once you tell me where the properties are, we can see.
With that advice, I will make a motion that we find someone who can search for the deeds of those properties.
You're going to do that? Is that the motion?
We can, I would think that what we could do is let me see, I can get somebody from my office to see if we can locate these tracts and find the deeds. If within a week or two we can't, then I'll send everybody an email and say the next time, maybe we need to get a title attorney and get somebody to look at it.
All right, I'll second his motion.
Okay. Has second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is our reports, administrative staff reports, Martin County Education Association reports, and our school reports.
The Administrative reports, the finance report, Tammy said that, shared that she could do that tonight, or she can hold it to the tentative budget if the board is considering a special call on the tentative budget.
Okay.
But the report, it will still be, that, or the finance report that has been approved already earlier in the agenda, it will still be posted. So,
Okay. Next item is
Dave.
new.
never mind, I won't have to do that at all. Go ahead.
Okay. Next item is new business.
I just asked that the board don't forget on the last meeting that was discussed on, me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
The license that was discussed on my position,
Okay.
I would ask that the board, it was mentioned that you guys would talk about it, and I would ask that you do that tonight.
That's
In closed
something
session, I
we'll
think it's
be
one.
doing in the budget. I don't understand. What do you mean?
The last time that we were here, you guys were talking about the positions that were allocated and everything was there. You guys said that you would meet on it tonight. I just didn't know if you all had, or if you want to, or that's what I'm asking.
We'll do our salary.
Yeah,
schedule.
we haven't set the
Budget.
salary
No,
schedule
we
yet.
haven't.
No, that's, yeah, and you guys were supposed to meet, but that's my understanding, you said that.
Okay.
But we have tabled that until special meeting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
table that to special meeting.
No, we've got, do we know what the salary schedule was in 011, 012? For your, was it 07525 or something, or code?
7525.
Huh?
7525, sir.
7525, okay. Which shows that it was a creative position. I mean, the board at one time,
I'm not sure. I don't
and
know.
it's not been taken off the
What was on the
books.
salary schedule?
Huh?
I was wondering about what was on the salary schedule and what was on my contract.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Claw, before you go into executive session, what was the statute number you said you'd be addressing?
The statute number.
Yeah.
It was KRS 61.810, parentheses 1, parentheses F.
F or S?
F.
F, Frank?
As in Frank, yeah.
Okay. I guess the next thing is, do you have any idea why this was common knowledge and street talk, that you would be bringing this up tonight in executive session?
What? What are you talking about? You know, what are you referring to?
The street is that before it brought up for a board tonight, that was already on the street and common knowledge, that you would be bringing this up tonight before the board meeting.
I don't know how you, I don't know how you got this.
I wouldn't address it.
No, I don't.
I'm not asking the content. What I'm asking is there any merit that people say you make a boast that you would be bringing this up?
There's no merit because I didn't, I don't know what, I have a pretty good idea of what this statute is.
Well,
But,
I think you would if you were going to bring it up to be addressed.
No, that's the reason I have, well, I'll just put it like
I'm
this.
just saying the street talk is that I moved before I come to the board.
Now,
that this
street
statute
talk
would be
is,
brought up.
well, street talk is a street talk. Okay, that's it.
I got something to say about the Dollywood trip the other day. Okay, there's a lot of kids that did not get to go. And from my attention, I was aware they had sold cups. And the money was supposed to be raised for that trip. And there's a lot of kids that did not get to go. And then it comes back to my attention that this was set on second period classes. And I don't see how that could be managed or how that came about. Because everybody can't be in the second period class. I want some answers.
What exactly, ma'am?
And too, on the cups, I was told by, I'm not going to mention no names, the person's in the room, I was lied to my face. I was supposed to receive my cups that I did not get, that I had paid money for, and I never did receive them. I was pushed away, turned away, never got my money back.
I would love to address. Well, first of all, I made a statement today that the Dollywood trip was, and actually I wanted to address it anyhow today, went off without one single hitch, complaint, struggle, trouble, or anything. Should not have made that comment today. But nonetheless, I want to share just a little bit about the Dollywood trip to you just for a minute, and then we'll address the fundraising situation in just one moment, and I think I can address that to a T today. First of all, I do want to thank you all for that Dollywood trip. It was absolutely phenomenal. We had 31 kids who went who had never been to an amusement park. 15 of which had never been to Camden Park at the very least. To have watched them walk through the gates, the doors of that, with all my sleepless night, my worries, my struggles, was worth every single moment of seeing them walk through the doors. Now, Dollywood is something that is offered to every single kid in the building, but it's like anything else in life. Sometimes there are those that win, sometimes there are those that do not. However, the opportunity is coming again this year, and I'm very excited about that because there may be new winners. Maybe her son who gets to go on that trip, and you know that is a great opportunity. Fundraising was done 3 different times this year. One was cups. We made a second order because we did have some mix up on cups, as happens sometimes with fundraisers. I don't care what fundraisers you do. I've never had a perfect one. Yankee Candles was almost perfect, but I've never had a perfect fundraiser just yet. Yes, our fundraisers have been set aside for Battle of the Classes and for Battle of the Classes only. Not just Dollywood though. Battle of the Classes encompasses the bowling trip for 2nd place. It's encompassing movies for 3rd place, and it also encompasses our monthly battles that goes on for whatever type of materials that we may need to do that battle at that month, if material is needed, and not every battle needs material. So fundraising isn't just for the trip, it's for everything that we do with Battle of the Classes from the 1st day of August all the way till the end of this month. So it does reach every kid in some way, shape, form, or fashion. No, not every kid gets to go to Dollywood, but every kid has that opportunity in some way, shape, or form, or fashion. Now, we also did a survey this year, and we did call master. We sent out messages after messages asking parents, teachers, students to put on that survey. How could we make it better? And we did have some extremely awesome comments on how to make it better, and we've been working on that since I've read every single comment on that survey, every single comment, and they have been awesome. But you know, I do want to tell you, it was absolutely amazing what the kids did to take 100, and yes, no, everybody didn't get to go. I mean, we knew that from day one that 460 were not going to get to go. Everybody, every kid knew that when we started this battle. Every parent knew that when we started this battle, who ever came to a board meeting or came to a parent meeting in school or came and asked questions. They knew that not every single kid would get to go to this battle, that it would be kids that won in classes. Is that kind of the downfall? In some ways, possibly, in some ways not, because I can tell you there has been some major improvements in a lot of different areas. Are we where we need to be? No. That's the reason we did a survey, to find out some of the pitfalls, some of the things, first time we've ever done it. So we didn't know everything about it, but man, we learned a lot from it this year. Fundraising, I'll personally give you my money out of my pocket to take care of your fundraising. Didn't know that happened.
It's just not that.
Number 2, I will get your cup fee. Hang on a second, I'll let you speak in just a minute. But I will definitely get the cups to her. I did not know that took place, and that is never, ever, ever okay. Here today, tomorrow, or any other time. That will definitely be fixed tomorrow. Unless she wants the cups, and I'll have to call Bender and make sure I get the cups if that's the case. But that will be taken care of, I promise you that. But once again, I do greatly thank you. It was absolutely amazing. Is it perfect? No, but we hope to make it a little bit more perfect next year. And we hope any kid that may not have been given the opportunity to go this year, we hope next year they get that opportunity, and I think they will. I talked to them today, and I will tell you that they were excited today when I talked to them about next year. They were extremely excited about the opportunities that were to come. But it will be taken care of, and quickly as I get back to school, I will pull that and we will take care of it.
Well, for my prerogative, I think since they sold stuff and they raised money for it, they should have got to do something at least. But,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But for the fact of, you put money out for these cuts, I'm sorry, and then for the fact, yeah, I did get lied to, that I was told to come to the school the next morning and get my cups, that they were there, then I got pushed away. No, I don't agree with it.
I'm gonna make one last comment. It would have been awesome to have had that brought to my attention at school, and I would have fixed it. I mean, I would have fixed that. I think anybody in this room that knows me knows that I would have fixed that very quickly.
Were you, okay,
Just to make a short comment, I was aware that you was aware of it.
I did not know, ma'am.
But I was aware that you was aware of it.
Okay, are you saying that your child didn't get to go on a fundraising?
Well, I was in the in the situation that if they sold stuff, which I bought a lot of stuff this year, that they would get to do something. Well, I'm just gonna put it this way, 3 years that they've been there, they've not gonna do nothing but maybe, which don't get me wrong, the community center, it's nice, stuff like that. I don't push it away, but they've never gotta do nothing since they've been there. And I've got one more question that I don't know what it's about, but there's some kind of thing over there that I'm not sure what it's called, but where they get put on this sheet and they have to be walked to class, walked to the bathroom by a certain person. What's that about?
May I address that too, Madam Chair? Yes. We have what is called a no-fly list in our school. If a student is in major trouble, meaning they got into a fight or constant drama, just situations that is causing maybe a unsafe environment for that student or for other students. We have faculty in our building that walk those students to the classroom, they walk them to the cafeteria lunch line, they walk them from the cafeteria lunch line back to the classroom, and wherever else they may need to go. If they are called to the office, they are asked to have an escort to the office. That's a managerial decision that I made to make sure that our kids, that the day-to-day learning environment is kept conducive for learning. Now, if I'm the one on that, I'm not going to be real content, probably. But nonetheless, maybe you'll behave in my hallways and in our hallways, in our restrooms, or in our cafeterias. So yes, we do have a no-fly list in that building, and it is just that. They are, some of the kids that are on it, they want to know when they get their wings back, as kind of just a little sense of humor. And my conversation to those kids, as I had with one today, I'm ready and willing to give your wings back at any moment that you prove to me that you're worthy to walk up and down these halls without causing our kids and our students any type of behavior problems in the building. And that's what that is.
Did that continue on the bus?
If I had people that I could place on that bus, yes, I guess it could. But at this moment, I don't have faculty that extends to that bus. That's out of my lane. But nonetheless, that's where we're at this moment.
Could you let the bus driver be aware of who those kids are?
That's something I will have to look at on
You could let us know of troubled children. That would help us out a whole lot. Or where to place those children.
We will look into that.
Thank you. Okay. New business?
I'd just like to, can I make a comment? I'm sorry. I'd just like to say, and I appreciate the board, of course, we got 2 new buses, and even though I didn't get one in my district, which, don't know why.
And I did.
You told me why.
I did.
And also, Eden, Miss Preston does a great job with her staff down there, and they raise money. And we finally got the glass and the trophy case, and I think it looks great. The Cats Cash, I look at the attendance rate, and Eden was over 95% there, and the Cats Cash program, you guys do a super job with that, and so I just have to put in a good word for
Mr. Hart, let's look at it like this will be the first year after this year that we've actually going to have buses, all drivers in the 2,000 or above. It's not on the road except for maybe a couple of sub buses. So that's a big improvement.
And I appreciate what Larry does and for us getting those. I still don't know why Gary Ball got one in his district, but I appreciate everything you guys do at Eden.
Because my district is connected to his.
I get it. How's Miss Davis doing over there? Your
She's
teacher?
doing excellent.
She is a.
Like all my teachers do.
Yeah.
That's my expectation.
Exactly. Well, I've got my eye on her because she and her husband and I are good friends and a former student of mine. So, yeah.
She's doing a great job.
Glad she loves you.
So does this little girl that wrote, this little Borders girl. She had some really high. I thought what she wrote on you this week was.
So have we got those shells in that trophy case yet? I got the trophies.
All right.
Okay, school reports.
Is this a public comment section of your agenda?
We have one more agenda item, and you can certainly open it up. We have one more new business, and that is the introduction of our new high school coach. As we discussed in our working session, also in my emails, I indicated that our new coach would be here tonight. So also we talked about some contributions from general fund that would go to the football program to outfit them with equipment and uniforms and so forth. But Coach Turner's here to greet the board and share with his needs. And let's give him a hand.
Thank you. First off, just real quick about me, because this is my first time addressing you and the community as well. You know, as a young person, I've had the opportunity to be around some quality people, and I've built up a lot of pride in myself through the sport of football, okay? And my main goal as your head football coach here is to allow the young men here in Martin County to develop that same confidence, okay? Because, you know, let's be successful at something and gain that confidence that they can get up in front of a board of education and, you know, go and ask for support, like I am for you. I don't know if I could have done that 20 years ago or 17, but now I'm coming before you as the head football coach at Sheldon Clark, asking you for your support, okay? And that's my goal for the kids here, okay? There's not been a lot of success. They don't have a lot to feel good about. So I'm coming for you to ask on their behalf for your support of our program. There's all kinds of people supporting us in the community. We're getting school support. We're getting community support. We're going to need board support as well to get everything that we need. And specifically, I've got some things down. I mean, football is expensive. We know that. It's very expensive. It costs around $600 to outfit one player, okay? And you have to purchase things like that every year. You have to purchase new shoulder pads, new helmets, get them reconditioned, new items to be as safe as you possibly can. All the studies today with concussion, I want to outfit my players with the best possible things that you can be outfitted with. And that's expensive, okay? And I want to buy 10 new helmets and 10 new shoulder pads this year for them. That's going to cost roughly about $5,000, okay, to do that. Because you can't get a good helmet for less than $250 today, okay? But a little bit about me, going back to that, I want them to be able to see something, see things, move forward, okay? From all the turmoil that's gone on with them, with getting beat. Let's turn it around. Let's turn this thing around and be able to allow them to be proud of something, you know, so they can gain that confidence. And they're going to have to see everybody's support in doing that, okay? We're specific things I'm talking about as far as we're going to try to the expenses for this year, new uniforms, 10 new helmets, 10 new shoulder pads. There's protective girdles. We need new footballs, mouthpieces, protective post pads on the ends. Those things are worn out. They need to be replaced. Want to take the kids away, go to camp. I think it's very important as far as unity. And that totals around $20,000. Specifically $20,139.49. Okay, that's specific amount. Now there's going to be a lot of things that we do to try to raise that money. We're going to try to do a lift-a-thon. We're doing that May the 26th. I'm going to do a mail out. A mail out is where I ask all of our players to bring me 10 addresses, not from anybody in Martin County, but everybody, Uncle Joey that lives in Michigan, and see if we can't, see if they can't support our football program. Discount cards, printing those things up, local businesses, and being able to do things like that. I want to do a Meet the Cardinals, an open pre-practice, and an open pre-season practice where everybody can come see our players, and put some barbecue on the smoker and sell some plates, things of that nature. We're doing all kinds of things to raise money. And the estimated amount that we can raise right now is about $15,000. So, obviously there's a gap there that needs to be filled. And I'm asking for your support for that today. Okay?
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. So this will be if someone would like to make a motion for general fund expenses of $5,000 to, or whatever amount the board would choose to contribute to the football program.
What amount, sir?
Oh, 5,000 is what's being requested. I recommend that, but the board can choose any other amount.
What, general fund?
General fund.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. To recommend that amount.
I have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
I have a second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries.
Which one you want to do first? You want
And,
to do
wait a minute, there's one other thing I'd like to do, while we're in new business.
Are we still in new business? Are we in new business? Yeah.
What now?
Okay, never mind.
Put
Okay,
me down for a
are we
helmet.
still in new business?
Yeah, you want a helmet?
I'll buy a helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, not for me. I probably need one, the way I fall around here and get concussions, but I'll buy one of your helmets.
Oh. Is Sean Hager back there? I thought I saw
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, I'm back here.
Okay, could you stand up?
Yeah.
I want to commend you for winning the school's first All-A title in baseball. I mean, that's something that is that's a very, very worthy thing. I mean, it's something that, it's the first time in school history this has been done.
First time in history they've made it.
That they've made it, yeah. So you're part of what you're, this goes along with, your things, athletics and things like that. I mean, you're one of the, in All-A, one of the, top 16 teams in the state in All-A.
Why haven't you had your boys up here?
Because they've never been asked to be recognized at one of these board meetings yet.
Oh.
Sir, I'd like to ask you.
We won it back on April the 13th. That was
Bring
Well, bring them to the next meeting.
I think we need to fix that.
Sure. I think we need to fix it. Bring it to the next meeting.
Well, I was hoping they'd get recognized before the baseball season was over, but obviously that's not going to happen. But I appreciate you for bringing that up.
Well, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sean, can we recognize them at our special meeting we're getting ready to have on the budget? Can you bring them in? They'll be before school's out.
Will it be before the district? The district starts when?
I'd have to know the date because we still have some games left to be played.
What do you,
When is it?
when, what?
When does
Monday,
district
if we
start?
If we do this Monday or?
The
No.
district starts special.
Starts Monday, okay.
18.
18? Are they busy Thursday night?
Thursday we have a game.
Okay. Wednesday?
I have a meeting.
What's, wait a minute.
You need a celebration.
I wanna be
for-
here and you can't, I'm gonna be gone 19th and 20th. But not there.
What time is your game Monday?
We play at 6.
So we recognize the golf team after they come back from state tournament.
Yeah. Friday.
And, you know, when you're fundraising, which, if anybody's got any,
Sean?
Friday good?
This Friday.
Uh-huh.
Is it good for you,
Friday?
Mickey?
Friday?
Yeah.
This Friday?
Okay. Friday, everybody?
Friday, what time?
Friday's good.
Friday
Four
at,
this Friday.
What time?
4?
I have a finance
She can't be
officer
here on Friday.
training Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week.
okay. What now?
I have finance training and bookkeeping has finance training in Louisville, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week.
Can we just do the meeting to recognize the baseball team?
Can we just have a party?
Something special just for the.
Yes.
Wait, so
Can we do that?
have them a party?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'll spring for pizzas up there at Abe's or anywhere else you wanna get them.
Hey, there we go. We got food, now we need drinks.
Well, I'll contribute.
I'll contribute too.
Me too. I'll get a cake. I'll get a cake. Okay.
When we doing it?
Right, let's see, what night did you say that you have free? Friday night?
Friday. At 4?
Friday.
Yeah, we can do it at 4.
Special board meeting Friday?
This Friday at 4?
Make it a little bit
KEA
later.
will donate on some of that too.
What?
KEA.
Okay.
Will donate some on that.
Boys, can we do 5?
Yeah, 5's good with me.
5 is good, yeah, I know 5 would be good for you. Okay,
Yeah,
5,
5.
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
5 all right for you, Sean? Okay.
Friday at 5.
Okay, so, Saturday?
Where's the morning meeting? Well, the recognition will be here.
If we're having a party, we need to have it someplace special where some parents can come and give them a good boost. Have it at the field.
Well,
Well, I'll say this on behalf of our church, up there beside the football field. If y'all want to have a cookout there under the shed.
You mean the
have a
baseball
shed
field?
there.
Up there by the baseball field?
Up there by the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, our shed there, you fellas are more than welcome to use that. You can have your cookout, set up, whatever you want to do there. You'll have plenty of room for parking, plenty of room for anybody who wants to attend.
Okay, that'd be good, but we would have to recognize them here, right? And then
No, you
we'll
can
bear
have a
it out.
special meeting.
We can have a special meeting, it'd be
Yeah.
All right, that's what we'll do.
Just as long as we tell them, hey,
Can you be there?
I heard.
Can you be there?
You want to get it out earlier than 24 hours. And let me know if you need a table set up all over the shed. We can have a table set up.
You know, Ronnie,
Whatever you need. We'll work.
so our special meeting will be Friday at 5 o'clock at the swimming pool.
At the shed.
At the shed.
Shed, yeah.
the shed.
That's
Shed.
beside us.
It's right beside the swimming pool.
Okay, but everybody will say at the swimming pool,
Right.
if you say the shed, they won't know.
Right.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of parking there, you can park at
They'll
the,
know when they pull in,
Pool,
they'll see us
you
all
know.
over there.
yeah.
Okay,
Hey, we'll move that to Monday, to Friday. What?
Someone will probably have to get all the names of all the players, right, to give them a certificate. Somebody will
Tuesday,
send
Wednesday.
Sean. Dina said if you will send her all the names of your players, she'll fix certificates for them, so they can give them out.
Just send them to me. I'll print certificates.
okay.
Did you want to say something on new business?
Actually, it wasn't about new business. I was
Oh,
just,
okay. I didn't know. I told you.
no, but my question was about public comment, and I wondered if new business covered public comment because we've covered probably 35 school boards or school districts up here, and all of them on the agenda specifically makes a place for public comment. And I just didn't see that there. I was going to suggest that since you all are already paying $80,000 a year for this place, that there is, I am told, empty space above on the second floor. This building is owned and managed by the Martin County Economic Development Authority, and I feel like that they would, in the community spirit, maybe to be included in the rent you're already paying, they would provide classroom space for you upstairs, which would be in the proximity where the board would actually be in control or have access to control them if that's an issue. There's also adequate parking.
Oh, that's.
And it wouldn't cost you, and I'm sure that in the spirit of the community and cooperation, that they would cooperate with that kind of request.
And that would certainly satisfy the things that Dr. Laney and all them were talking about. The kids would have their own ownership.
But that was my public comment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is approval to enter into a closed session pursuant to KRS 6.810. Start please.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it as a motion.
You read your motion. You want to read your motion? Can I step out for a minute?
We take just like a 2 or 3 minute break. Or
Sure. Somebody moves to have a break and.
Maybe have 5 minutes.
Motion to have a break.
A break.
I'll agree. I'll always make a cup of coffee.
Board to go into executive session to discuss property acquisition and prospective litigation pursuant to KRS 61.810.
We've made a motion to take a break. We have to make a motion to come back in session first. We have to make a motion to come back.
I'll make that motion to
go
come
into
back
executive
in.
session.
No.
Okay.
We gotta come back into, I make a motion to come out of break.
Yeah.
And it was a very enjoyable break, much like after church, talking to people.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll say it.
I need all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're back in session.
now we make the motion.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now I make a motion to board go into executive session to discuss property acquisition and prospective litigation pursuant to KRS 61.810 1B and C. Discussion of personnel which might lead to disciplinary dismissal pursuant to KRS 61.810 1F.
I'll second the motion to go into executive session.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're